What's going on, guys? You guys ever heard that saying, just because you can doesn't mean you should? There's a reason why people say that. And in the less than lethal community, I think a lot of people need to be reminded of it. Not to say that I'm right, not to say that they're wrong. I'm not trying to start a fight or anything like that. I just want to get something off my chest because I've been seeing something happen more often than I would like recently, and I just got to say something about it, right? So, what I'm getting into, guys, is this new flood of content being pushed onto YouTube and other platforms about the new Grimberg carry or even similar launchers that are out there, and like over modding it when that's not necessarily good, if you will, or like functionally better, or like applicably better in most situations, right? Like a lot of people just get caught up with these less than lethal launchers, with how much power they produce, like how much joules they put out there, right? They all want to see how hard they hit. They all want to see how much they destroy things, how much injury, how much pain, how much damage can I inflict on a person or something, is what seems to get the most views on the interwebs when it comes to less than lethal launchers and or the conversation of self-defense and using less than lethal launchers, right? And I get it, right? It's all about, you're on YouTube, you're on social media and stuff like that. It's all about the views, it's all about the watch time, it's all about the subscribers, the likes and things like that. I totally get it. So you're going to put out the things that are awe shocking videos, and those ones that are destroying things or hurting individuals and or promoting a certain output, excuse me, is going to probably be more advantageous to do as a content creator. Look, I understand that, especially in the less than lethal community, it's a desert as far as like creative new content that you can come up with, because there's so many people that have covered these less than lethal launchers and the topic of using them for self-defense or whatever, right? Like everybody and their mama is intrigued about it. Everybody has put out how much joules the X68 does. Everybody has put out their opinions or chronograph of whatever launcher, like the Grimberg Carry, the Grimberg Gavril, the S2 from Salt Supply Company, the Burners, all this other stuff. Everybody's done it, So like, what's going to separate you from everybody else? Well, maybe if I destroy a coconut, maybe if I destroy two coconuts, maybe if I put a different type of ammo or projectile in my launcher, like people are going to get interested. So, people like, that's the easy way to go about doing it. I would dare say though, it's harmful because, like, I'll give you an example. The Grimberg Carry is the most recent launcher that's being put out there, like to the public, that's getting a lot of traction as far as like making content goes. And a lot of people recently, after just making their initial unrevealing of the Grimberg Carry when they received it, have now gone on to modding the barrels, extending the barrels, and showing different options for barrels. Well, it kind of defeats the whole purpose, in my humble opinion, on why most people have probably bought the carry, because of its size, right? It's called a Grimberg Carry because it's easy to conceal and carry on your person in comparison to other launchers that have come out before it, right? The X68, great launcher, best launcher as far, in my humble opinion, as far as power goes. But you're not going to have a hard time carrying that around, especially concealing that launcher, right, on your day-to-day activities or in your person and stuff like that as you go through your day-to-day activities. Same thing with the S2 from Salt Supply Company. Great launcher for what it does, right? Like, I think it's a great chemical launcher, but fairly large, fairly large, right? The Gavel, again, fairly large. You can go to Burna. The Burna is pretty good, but then a lot of people gripe about like the power. So trying to find that happy medium of size and still putting out decent power, respectable power. Here comes the Grimberg Carry, right? And everybody's like, oh, that's what we've been looking for. Now, the Grimberg Carry doesn't have some of the other great features that we've all grown accustomed to. Like, it doesn't have a puncture cap. You can't just hit the bottom and it be ready to go, right? Like, you literally have to physically twist it, and that's how it punctures the CO2 for its power. And there's also the fact that you only get so many shots in your load when it comes to the carry. Like, it's not like some of the other ones that have a magazine that you can slap in, and a lot of them, right, that's come before the Grimbergs, you can get off one CO2, whether it's whatever size, a 12, 16, 8 gram, whatever it is, right? You can generally get about 10 to 12 shots off on an average less than lethal launcher that's out there But again, with the Grimbergs or the carry is specifically like you get 5, and that's what you get, right? Like you better figure something out if it doesn't stop whatever's happening by 5 shots. Like you've got to get away, you've got to escalate to a more lethal, or you got to find yourself exiting the whole situation in general. And I want to remind you guys, the less than lethal community, it's not about winning the fight. And that's where I think I'm getting kind of frustrated, because I think a lot of people have these unrealistic expectations or thought processes happening when they're viewing some of these videos from other content creators about like doing so much damage because I extended the barrel, or it does so much joules that I'm going to finish the conflict or something like that. The whole idea is for it to buy you time with the less than lethal launcher. It's not to stick around. It's to get out of the situation entirely. Call the cops. Get out of that environment that you're in danger in, and get away. Like, right, run away. You're not supposed to be there trying to inflict maximum damage with this tool. Like, that's the complete opposite of what less than lethals are for. You're not there to win a fight. You're not there to win a gun battle. Like, right? It's not a gun. You're asking for a lot of trouble. Putting that mindset like, oh, I got a launcher that does some pretty damn good damage on people or things, or a coconut or a wall. Like, if I have this Grimberg carry and I extend the barrel, which really defeats the whole purpose of why you bought the Grimberg carry, in my humble opinion, right? We all bought it. We all were wanting it because of the size, right? And being able to conceal it on our day-to-day activities. Like, if I extend the barrel 6 more inches, that whole carry feature just gets thrown out the window. Why just carry on my X68? What's the point, right? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just getting old. Maybe I'm just getting grumpy. Maybe I'm just like whatever. But I do feel like people are getting caught up, and it's very, very concerning, because whether you know it or not, or whether you'd like to admit it or not, you're kind of setting yourself up mentally for a lot of unrealistic expectations and or situations to occur for you in the conversation of self-defense, right? Like, the last thing you want to do is have this unrealistic or jaded view of things when it comes to having to defend yourself and or your loved ones or whatever, right? Like, come on, guys. At what point do we sacrifice our quality of content for just making content, for the sake of making content, for getting likes, views, and putting out something, right? I don't know. I'm not trying to call out anybody. Like, I get it, guys. I think it's fascinating. And I do think that there is a conversation to be had when it comes to modding or tinkering with your launchers. Like myself, I've always said options are always the best thing when it comes to self-defense. Like, you having options is great, right? And so there are people like myself who, like, say I got the carry and I would just use the regular stock barrel for day-to-day carry and going around and stuff like that. But when I come home and I'm at home for any length of time, I'll swap out the barrel, because while I'm at home, the situation is kind of confined, if you will, to my casa, to my house, to my fortress, right? Like, I will more than likely be using it within a 10 to 15 foot space, and I want to create as much damage as possible if somebody's breaking into my house. So like, maybe they're coming through the door, the window, or whatever it is. Like, I don't really have to worry about concealing it. It might be in a stop box. It might be like, up on my nightstand or whatever it is. I'm just going to pull and I'm going to give them a couple warning shots. And if they keep pursuing forward, I'm going to have to stop my threat by escalating or doing whatever I choose to do. Hopefully the cops have come by that time or whatever, right? But in that situation, I get it. I can get why you might want to consider changing out the barrels and stuff like that. But a lot of the content creators that are out there with less than lethals right now are putting off, without saying it, mind you. I will say this. They're not directly saying, oh, like, extend the barrel and then go carry it around like a regular carry would, and it's going to do the same exact things. But they're not saying it either, right? And then, so like that's something to that as well. You're not saying that as well when you show people about extending these barrels and getting the maximum power out of this Grimberg carry and stuff like that. So I don't know. Again, I'm kind of like getting in the weeds with everything. I just kind of want to do my duty. I said duty. Put my 2 cents out there and let people, have some food for thought, something to digest and chew on. If they're considering buying the gavel or the Grimberg carry, I think it's a great. I have them. You know, I have the X68, I have the S2, I have them all. But I use them all for different things. Like if I'm out and about, I probably would carry with the Grimberg carry. But if I'm at home, I use the X68, I use the S2, I use other things and stuff like that. So just I guess what I'm trying to say is I hope that people that are putting out content are a lot more clear and detailed and like forthcoming with why they're showing people what they're showing. Not to necessarily say they have to. It's the interwebs. People can do whatever they want, right? It's up to us to know better. But that's where I'm kind of coming in right now. It's like I just want to remind people that there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference in being able to do something and then knowing if you actually should do it, right? Or if it's going to cause you a lot more trouble or heartache for doing so. Also, remember, there's a legal side to all of this, guys. You could, extend the barrel on this thing, go around concealing it on your day to day. And just because it's less than lethal doesn't mean that it can't be. And also, it doesn't mean that you can't become the victim of a lawsuit even when you're just protecting yourself. I've seen it all. We've all seen it, right? Where the victim is, for some reason or another, the one that gets blamed for protecting themselves. And so be very, very careful about what you're getting into, why you're getting into it. Think about it, I guess, at the very least. And please make smart decisions, guys. With that being said, please don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really would appreciate it. I hope you guys all stay safe out there. Peace.